We're going to go with Whetu Marama. What does it say? IIJM? Or is it Chippy? What's IIJM? LLJM? Or is it Chippy pulling a Biden by staying in the race too long? How likely is it for him to lead the Labour Party into government next year? Yeah, Whetu, I think that's a really interesting question because we were obviously pretty vocal in our thoughts around we think maybe Kieran's the guy to do it. But when Kieran comes out and he says, I don't want it, and you guys, not us, but general internet, need to stop talking about it because it's making us look weak and we're not going to be doing that. But so we kind of go, okay. But then also, I was listening to someone the other day, or maybe I was reading it, or maybe I smelt it or smoked it or dreamt it, saying that Chippy is still going to, whether we like it or not, we've just talked about Jacinda tonight, whether we like it or not, there is a voting section in New Zealand who think that she is the devil. And Chippy has some of that juice on him still from that time. So will he be the best one to go into the next election? Does it matter? Because they're never going to vote for the left anyway, those people. Or would it be better to have a completely fresh start? I'm kind of torn on that. I'm still sort of Chewie, I don't know where you are, but I'm still sort of sitting with, I think Kieran's the guy. But someone also mentioned Bob Edmonds the other day. And I'm like, that's a really interesting thought as well.
Well, let's take stock. This is where I sit. I like Chippy. I do. He's been on the show. He's been very likable. I've had criticisms of strategy and that sort of thing. And last time we had him on, he was very convincing about why he does pull for the centre. I don't agree with that, but I understand his reasonings. We've asked him directly, where do we see Bulldog Chippy? When does that come out? When do we see the fight in the dog? And his answer was, I leave that to my front bench. I have to be palatable to people that vote either way. Again, understand the reasoning. Disagree with it. Understand it.
Well, hang on. Let me jump in. I don't mean to sound really arrogant, but I don't think you disagree with it. Because you don't disagree with that's what he needs to do for him. You disagree with it because that's not what you think should be done. Is that fair?
That's fair. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So because I do think someone does need to find the centre. I think there needs to be someone reaching to the centre. So I agree that someone needs to do it within Labour. No, because we can't. You got to win the centre as well. I've said this the whole time, Chewie. It's Labour's job to get the centre left and to drag some of those centre right ones back over. That's their job. Yeah. It's the left's. It's the Greens' job to activate the far left. The far left are the ones who do not vote. They are the ones who sit on their hands. They are the anarchists and the Marxists, and they don't want to be involved in the system. That's the Greens' job. The Māori, Te Pāti Māori's job is to keep being Te Pāti Māori and activate their base, and that's how you get a left bloc. So someone has to pitch to the centre in this whole worldwide thing. I know I don't want to do that, and you don't want to do that, and we don't align with the politician who's going to do that, but someone's got to.
But that's what we get when we get the election run, and we just have man in a red tie saying we need to be tough on crime, and then man in a blue tie saying we need to be tough on crime. You just had the same fucking talking heads saying the same things, slightly different flavour.
Yeah. So this is what we have to tell,
and it's punched down on the poor.
This is what we have to tell Chippy, right? We have to tell Chippy, and we have told Barb to tell Chippy this. We have to tell Chippy that if we read a headline tomorrow morning and we don't know whether Luxon or Chippy said it, that's a problem. That's what Chippy has to understand. Yeah. And he did that with the Greens. He did that with the Greens about their budget. The thing he said was unrealistic or something. You didn't know where that could have come from Luxon. And if the words could have come from Luxon, that you've gone too far. Come back to the
last couple of days, Chippy has been sniping at Te Pāti Māori again. And I don't, is it because he's scared that the guys in the middle are going to be scared of what Te Pāti Māori's doing? Like, why would you, your whole job should be whenever a camera is pointed in front of you, whenever a microphone is in front of you, and they've asked you a question, it's not to say the Greens are unrealistic. It's not to say that Te Pāti Māori are doing a song and a dance. It's to point at the government and say these guys are taking axes and chainsaws to pillars that hold up this country, that they are fleecing the poor, the middle workers, because they don't want to touch the guys at the top. That is the message. That is the message that should be coming. And it's consistently coming from Te Pāti Māori. And it's consistently coming from the Greens. And it's consistently coming from his fucking front bench, which is stacked with bulldogs.
Yeah.
It's got Kieran and Barbs and so many more. And it's like, well, if you don't want to be the bulldog, get the fuck out of their way. Because I see so many people, and yes, it might be political tragics like us that are very much on the left that are going, we want Labour to come more left, focus on your core business, which is to be a workers' party.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we want. I don't want to hear Chippy talking about law and order, because he will always lose that fight. Because he's lost the branding on that. Labour's never had it. Rightly or wrongly, National Act, New Zealand First, own the law and order space. So don't
they own
they
own the punitive law and order space.
Yeah.
Which is the law and order space that people respond to.
Non-evidence based.
Yeah.
Law and order based on vibes. But there is always this consistent background hum of, is Chippy inspiring? Now, that's our point of view. The people that are fucking soaked up to their eyebrows in politics. The poll that came out today, Chippy is just 1 point behind on preferred Prime Minister. So this is the thing. Do the people that like the taste of fresh blood in their politics want him gone? But the people that are getting surveyed, the people that are not as plugged into politics as we are, they might see that he seems a safe pair of hands, and he's more likable, he's more authentic, because he's actually human, than Luxon. Now, I think when it comes to the election, Luxon's complete lack of authenticity, the way he speaks, his arrogance, and the arrogance of his partners, his other leaders, will cost him the election. Now, I could be wrong. I am Nostradamus, as I've said. But this is the problem when we are so ingrained in politics, is sometimes we're reading tea leaves that people will never, ever see.
Yeah. And look, it's funny in the chat, people are saying, yes, Chippy needs to get the centre. They're saying, yes, I agree with Pat. Yes, I agree with Chewie. I think the reality is, I actually don't think any of us would really disagree. There might be the one outlier. But because the reality is, for a left coalition to win, Labour needs to be in that centrist area for some people. Yes, someone said, and I've already put it up, it's wishy-washy. I agree. Like all these things, it's not where I want to vote. I agree. Like I don't want Chippy to be saying things that Luxon could say. I agree. But I also understand that the reality is there are going to be some people who are sitting in the centre out there, probably no one right here right now, to be fair, who we need to vote for a party that's going to then enable a left bloc to be in. It's not me actually putting my stamp of approval on Labour looking for the centrist vote. It's not me putting my stamp of approval on Labour going to the centre. It's me actually going, if Labour and the Greens and Te Pāti Māori are going to form a government, this has to happen. We have to get a section of that centrist voter into Labour to let the rest get through. I mean, I kind of think that's inarguable, that has to happen.
I saw a clip not long before we went to air, and I don't know what show it was, and I don't know what woman was talking about it. I should have immediately got that information. But her view, her dream for MMP, because you notice that there's been a couple of articles lately of maybe MMP's not fit for purpose because parties are ruling out each other.
I was actually going to play it today. RNZ. Maybe if the guys tomorrow night want to grab it. RNZ did a panel with Wallace today. It's like a 5-minute chunk of them talking about, is MMP still fit for purpose?
And one of the commentators was like, what I would like when you talk about negotiations between parties, that there's been such a focus on, like, we want to be seen as an effective government, so we've got to lock down this negotiation process as quick as possible. The country won't stand for going back to the polls. And her view was like, maybe a party needs to throw the country back to the polls, because A, that would really put the shits up your electorate and get them to take MMP seriously, and B, it would mean that if you were the dominant negotiating partner and you didn't want to compromise on your platform or where you want to take things, what better way to do that? And I think the example that we have with this government is that they ran through the negotiations so quickly, and we've seen the quality of the negotiation, the quality of the negotiation red lines for different parties has come through. Maybe we do need a shock to the system. Like, maybe. I like MMP. I don't want to see it go.
We'll go into that story now, and I'm assuming this isn't actually the Labour Party of New Zealand, which is fine. But if it is, you have no idea how much the Labour Party needs our advice, and not just our advice, like us two rodeo clowns, but the people who sit in the sphere that we're sitting in or voting. You have no idea how much the Labour Party needs to listen to people like us who have been screaming capital gains tax for years. So actually, if this is the Labour Party, which I doubt it is, my dudes, you're wrong. And if it's not the Labour Party, I like your Logany type stuff. And it's not us, like, as in they need our advice, me and Chewie, but it's people sitting where we're sitting. It's people who are who are in this are in the left space that you're not, screaming, do you understand how progressive values and progressive policies rate really well? You do need that help, Labour Party, and we're here for it.